Chapter 113. The Echoes of a Master. The past was a scar that never fully healed. As Viratros stood over his defeated master, the cold stone of the arena seemed to fade, replaced by the dark, suffocating walls of the training dojo from his youth. Crack! The sound of a heavy wooden training stick smashing into Viratros' bare back echoed through the empty room. The young Viratros gasped, forced to kneel on his knees without moving, his muscles trembling under the sheer weight of the agony. "Ah! This hurts!" Viratros screamed, his hands gripping his knees. Instead of mercy, a brutal kick caught him squarely in the ribs. Master Oji sneered down at him, a devilish, sadistic smile twisting his face as the boy lay gasping for air in the dirt. Viratros could barely move, his vision blurring, but through sheer force of will, he forced his broken body back up. One day, Viratros wheezed, spitting blood onto the dojo floor. "One day, I will surpass you, and I will defeat you." Oji's smile vanished, replaced by an explosive, blinding fury. He didn't say a word. He simply delivered another devastating kick that sent the young boy flying across the room. Viratros hit the wall and collapsed, sliding down into unconsciousness. Oji turned his back, his hollow laughter echoing through the halls as he walked away. "You will surpass nothing." Later that night, the injured Viratros woke to low voices bleeding through the paper walls. Crawling through the shadows, holding his breath, he looked through a crack to see Master Oji meeting with Bosa Teru, the High White Priest. They spoke in hushed, chilling tones about world domination, about a grand plan to reshape the kingdoms in their own twisted image. Terror seized the young boy. He hid away in the darkest corner of the estate, pulling at his own hair, his mind fracturing from the weight of the dark reality he had just uncovered. Years passed. The boy grew into a brave, formidable warrior. He followed orders blindly, acting as the kingdom's blunt instrument. He was forced to do terrible things, even hunting down and killing people he once knew, but the darkness was rotting him from the inside out. He felt the burden of it every single day. It was that hidden goodness that drove him to turn on Seisha Taika. In a brutal, desperate confrontation, Viratros had fought back, unleashing a final strike that sent Seisha crashing over the edge of the roaring Coca waterfall. But victory brought no peace. Racked with guilt, Viratros traveled back to the quiet, familiar paths of Koi Village. He visited his father, Toshi, sitting in the dim light of their old home, his head bowed. "I can't do this much longer, father," Viratros whispered, his voice broken, his shoulders heavy with the ghosts of his past. Toshi reached out, trying desperately to cheer him up, to motivate his son and assure him that the storm would pass and everything would be fine. But from the doorway, a young Ayuki watched in silence, her heart breaking as she saw the profound sadness of the warrior who was supposed to be unbreakable. Viratros had been forced to become a monster, but he had never truly been evil. Then, there was Kiko, the girl from the Air Kingdom, daughter of Risa. Viratros remembered the way people looked at her, the pure fear in their eyes. She carried a strange, terrifying power hidden deep within her voice. During a secret training session, Kiko had let out a localized scream. The blast wave was so immense that Viratros had barely managed to throw himself clear. When he looked back, the sonic shockwave had literally twisted and bent the hardest metal pillars in the yard like paper. He had looked at the frightened girl and told her gravely, "Never use it. Not unless it is a matter of life or death." The memories snapped away like a broken thread. Back in the present, the roaring blue fire aura slowly faded from Viratros' skin, leaving only the charred, smoking fabric of his red robes. He stood in the center of the arena of peace, his severe eyes locked onto the broken cyborg. He waited. Oji let out a ragged, coughing laugh from the dirt. The agreement was, if I got my revenge on you, then I would talk about Denka. Oji wheezed, his eyes glinting with one last malicious spark. "But you won against me." Veratros's expression darkened, a look of pure, unadulterated anger settling onto his face. Up in the royal viewing box, King Kosuke and King Kuro stood up simultaneously, gripping the edge of the railing, straining to hear the confession. Oji slowly, agonizingly forced his broken body to stand. His mechanical joints popped and groaned. He looked at Veratros, a final, manic grin stretching across his bloody face. "Anyway, it won't matter, but..." Oji chuckled, a wet, rattling sound. "I can tell you that Denka is..." Zap! A blinding, laser-like blast cut through the smoke of the arena with terrifying speed. Oji froze mid-sentence, his jaw open. The entire stadium went dead silent. A perfectly round, smoking hole was drilled directly through the center of Oji's forehead. For a single, agonizing second, he stood perfectly still. Then, his eyes rolled back, and his heavy, metallic body crashed lifelessly into the dust. The entire arena was utterly speechless. Not a breath was drawn. Even Veratros stood paralyzed, his eyes wide with shock as he looked down at the dead man, the final secret of Denka silenced forever.